Faith is the assurance, the confirmation, the title deed of the things we hope for.
God is ready. Will sound the prophet, will sound the alarm upon the holy mountains of the Lord, and will declare the sons of God are rising. They said the earth is waiting for the manifestations of the sons of God. The sons of God are rising.
Church, thank you for joining us today.
Magnify your name, we exalt you as you touch our heart, oh God, as you bring us to the table of your circumcision. For the table of your word is the table of your circumcision, that you will purify our hearts, you will sanctify our life, that your truth, oh God, will come and pierce into our heart, our will and our mind, our emotions will conform to the will and into the counsel of the Lord. Lord, you will find expression of your person, of your presence in our lives. Your word will find fruition in us, oh God. In the name of Jesus, your kingdom and your will be done in our lives. Oh God, you will be indeed our Father, not just a God. You will be, oh God, that we will honor and hallow your name. Oh God, be exalted and be praised in this place and always in the heart of your people. Let the glory be to you and testimony unto us. In Jesus' mighty name we prayed. Amen. Thank you for joining me today by the grace of God. And we'll continue our book with the book of Matthew. We're looking at teaching Matthew chapter 5. And we'll be looking from 27 verse chapter 5 from verse 27 to 30. It talks about sin begins in the heart. Sin begins in the heart. Sin, very, very critical. What is sin? I've said this so many times. Sin is disobedience. In the Garden of Eden, what happened in the Garden of Eden? They were disobedient. What is it? There were trees in the garden, but were two special trees, and God said, don't touch these. You can eat from these two. Don't touch. Do not touch. And the enemy came to deceive. And Eve looked at it, if this thing is good for food, it's also good for it to grant us wisdom, and it will help us in whatever we need to do is useful to us. That means God must be wicked then. I'm just trying to. And she rather obeyed the devil and obeyed the serpent and disobeyed God. And God came in the evening. God came and said, Adam, where are you? Adam said, Lord, I hid my soul. So why? Because I'm naked. Who told you that you are naked? And God, summoned it up. I told you not to touch this tree. You have touched the fruit of the because he knows once you touch the tree, you will touch the fruit. So God said, don't touch this tree, because the most important thing is this fruit. If you get to this tree, you want to eat this fruit. And he ate. People say forbidden apple. Because apple, whatever it is, it disobeyed God. That disobedience, that act was open room for sin. Sin is disobedience. Let me say, and he said disobedience begins in the heart. Sin begins in the heart. You have heard, I'm going to read. You have heard that it was said by them of the old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. And 28 said, but I say unto you, whosoever looketh unto a woman to lust after her, hath committed adultery. 29 said, and if the right hand offend thee, pluck it out and cast it from thee. Say, for it is profitable for thee that one of the members should perish, and that the whole body should be cast into hell. Look at it, the whole body cast into hell. And if thy right hand offend thee, cast off and cast it from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of the members should perish, not that thy whole body should be cast into hell. Look at here. I'm going to stop here. And I'm going to break it down for us. It is very vital, our will. If we have the time, I want us to quickly read the book of read the book of James. Let's see the book of James. This is something that has helped me, and It's something I stick with God and say, God, please help me with this. Good book of James chapter 1. Precisely, let's go to 13. Look at what it said here. I'm going to read from 13 till 13 to 15. Let no man say when he is tempted. Look at how sin comes into the heart of men, into the soul, because the spirit of a man is the candlelight of the Lord, but the soul is where Christ will need to gain momentum. The kingdom wants to find expression, total expression within our soul. 13 said, I'm reading the book of James chapter 1 verse 13. Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God. For God cannot be tempted with evil. Neither tempt ye any man. God does not tempt. Look at where the temptation comes in 14. This is the same thing that happened to Eve and Adam. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. 15. Then when the lust had conceived, it will bring forth sin. Did you see? It will bring sin. Is a perpetual disobedience. Sin is the nature that does not submit to God and will not obey God. And when sin, when it is finished, that means it is grown, completed, bring forth death. So sin will always lead to death. Sin will always lead to death. Sin will always, somebody do it. Sin will always lead to death. What is lust? Lust, the Greek word for lust is epithumia. Epithumai. Epithumia. It speaks of a diseased soul, a diseased desire. A desire that is evil. You know, when something is sick, is diseased, is here gotten, is evil desire. When the evil desire was that this thing is good for food. This thing will make me wealthy. This thing is nice. And God said, no, don't go there. And Jesus is saying, adultery, don't go there. What is adultery? Adultery is to marry another. He said, when you look lustfully after you have committed adultery. When you begin to covet your neighbor's wife or your neighbor's husband, you look from head to toe. This lady looks beautiful than my own, and in your heart you have not put the ring, you have not done the intro, or you're just being nice and you keep looking, and that look is a look of the lust. It has been able to put in your will, in your mind, and in your emotion evil diseased soul, and the enemy begins to portray and say covet. Bible said in his commandments, you covet not thy neighbor. You begin to covet. Say, one day, you're just suddenly being nice. You know what happened to the wife of Potiphar, to Joseph? Looked at Joseph and said, Joseph, oh, I'm going to have you. You remember David? David that loved God. Stay. When kings went to war, he was at the stop and he saw the wife of one of the soldiers. And David gave a first look. Who's that beautiful lady there? And he took away his eyes and he brought it back again. And to David had committed adultery. David coveted the wife of one of the least of his soldiers that went to war. I said, this one, go get me this lady. Her name was said, he said, is the wife of Uriah. She was mentioned there. The mother of Solomon, they gave birth to, said, go get me that woman. And David coveted her. Eventually David married her, but David knew the thing they went through. David came into the lineage of David. God had to purge Judah. It did not start with David, it started with Judah. Go read it yourself. Go find your teaching. This is why God puts lineage, generations, to tell you that God travels through generation, and prophecy travels through generation. So the devil also travels through generation. You will look at line and upon line, you will see from one generation to another how the devil keeps working. And David allowed it. So the level I told you, oh my God, lust will bring, God is saying so, lust brings men into the place of death. Lust kills. Adultery kills. Adultery is a killer. Adultery covets your husband's neighbor, your wife's neighbor. We've seen it happen. David loved God. This is a man that would dance for God. And he would dance and dance and dance and dance and dance to a level where he would dance. And as David is dancing, removing his jacket, he's dancing that God, you brought me from the backside of the wilderness and you brought me to the throne. I am the last born, but you took me from the back. As the last born, you brought me to be the first to rule and to reign. I'm a privileged one. God, you have been on my, oh God, I'm going to build you. I'm going to build you a tabernacle. God, David's heart, he loved God. But at this point in time, he allowed the sin of adultery in his will, the desire for that woman. He came in. Look at what the Bible said. It started like a desire. He not conceived in his mind. It became concrete. You know, when you're still mixing something in water and you want it to get thick, you mold it until it was molded. When it was molded, in his emotion, it became sin. He became disobedient. He was not mastering it. Sin, adultery was gradually gaining momentum. Are we okay? Gaining momentum from his will to his mind to his emotion. Until Uriah came back, he said, oh, this man, the same thing with Joseph, said, this man, send him back. You know what we're going to do? Put him at the forefront of where the missiles are going. Even the first point of call is send him home. When he came back, he send him home. Let him go and meet his wife. At that time, there was adultery. Adultery leaked. Fornication had come. So what the sin of fornication started as adultery, you know, when you are going to get this one is for me, it's not going to. David had so many wives. That was not the plan of God from the beginning. The plan of God from the beginning was Adam and Eve. God is not interested in polygamy. It's mono. One, a man and a woman, created a male and female, not male and females, not female and males, no. Not male to male, not male to female. No. It's male and female to marry. Marry before the sex, not sex first before the marriage. But people don't do, and once they do their own thing, you see the thing is already abnormal generations. And this happened. The man did not go sleep. He said, no, my friends are in the war, fighting with their, with their guns, with all kinds of ammunition, with their sword, with their armor. I will not go sleep. So I will stay in the king's yard. When I'm done, and I will go back to war. And they saw him there. David said, this man didn't go. Okay, send him back. He wants to go to war. Send him to war. Put him at the front there so that he can die. Once there's even no need for him. Let him die. I have so many armies. This is not part of my mighty army. Let him. Who is this man? Let me take over his wife. Adultery. And Bathsheba, and they started they call them love. And this is how they killed Uriah. Every time the Bible recorded that the man is called Uriah, they killed him. He didn't watch the lust. His eye, the eyes of David was a major. And Jesus said, if your eyes will lead you to sin, if your eyes block it out, remove it, cut away from everything that is not profiting in the place of Christ, is not in alignment with the will of God, is not in alignment with the nature of God, cut it off. Any relationship that is leading you to sin, that is leading you to adultery, that is leading you to hell. He said, pluck it, look at it. He said, he is offending you. He said, once it's offending, it's pushing you to the place of sin, cut it and cast it away. Did you see? Cut it and cast it away. Throw it away. If David had done that, he wouldn't have been in. What David initiated in his own, what you don't understand, what David did in the corner, God is a rewarder. Whatever you do in the secret, he will reward you openly, whether good or bad. God needed to reward time is gone. Reward David rather. What David did in the corner was about to be open. Took a wife, committed adultery. Adultery led to murder. Killed one of his army because he had wives. So women were not his problem, but it was the wife of that army. Saw her, she was taking a bath, looked at, kept on looking. You know some people that you keep looking and looking until you slap them. They don't, or you say, what is this? You can get their attention. So what are you looking? What are you staring? What are you gazing? And the devil say, you can get her. She's better than your wife. This one can be the second wife. This one is good. Like he told Eve too. It's good, it's good. Take that bribe. Take that lie. For the emphasis of what Jesus is saying, this has to do with sexual issue. He said, rather than your whole body. David, why am I saying Joseph? David, it was Potiphar that did it to Joseph, and Joseph ran. Joseph ran. Joseph said, you will not destroy my destiny. Joseph ran. But David sat down there, and that spirit of adultery, that spirit of murder, that spirit of hatred, that spirit of sexual immorality entered into from Judah. He did not watch it. It entered from Judah until it got to David. David did not stop it, and he entered and walked in the lineage of David. Go check it. God said, I'm going to push this thing out. Because as long as there's Jerusalem, he said the throne will be given to the lineage of David. That was the same lineage Jesus came in. And you see, Jesus made a standard. Jesus did not even look for any, he wasn't his days, he wasn't married. To be married, is it wrong? No. But to tell you that Jesus overcame, he looked at it and said, I'm going to come in through the lineage of David. This is the person, but I'm going to purge it. And God began to purge. Absalom was one of the favorite sons of David. The man, his hair, he said, a handsome, tall, beautiful man. His hair would always touch even down to beyond his buttocks. But this man, he will fold his hair, and it was after his father. Because of all this, one of the daughters of David was raped by his own brother. What he did to another, look at how the thing entered. Immorality, rape, and all kinds of death. As the son was after one day, Joab, one of the soldiers of David. They made a trap, not even a trap. I'm sure they just looked at this man. He fought his father to the level that the father left the kingdom, ran away. He was looking for his father. He took all the wives of his father out one by one and was sleeping with them daylight. David, you did your own in the corner. God said, hey, I'm going to reveal you. Open. He got a tent. Say, these are my concubines, the concubines of my father. Line up one by one. You come. We'll sleep with you. Everybody is seeing that I'm sleeping. It may not be new, but since they will enter that room, do whatever they need to send them. Bring another one. Bring another. If my father, you dare, come out. Look how terrible it is. And God said, this will not continue. God had to purge everything out from the lineage of David. The same thing with Solomon. Solomon came from David and from Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah. But look at the whole story. God brought out the reality that God brought out weakness and challenges also. But she was the one that wrote the book of Proverbs. The prophecy. It was a prophecy to his son. So don't give your strength to a woman. Women, they are strong. They are able. When they agree with God, when they partner with God, but when they partner with the evil one, my God, disobedience started with them. And salvation also started with them. The devil said he was going to destroy them. God said, they are my vessel. They are my image. So don't look at that image. They are of God. When they partner with God. I'm going to round off here. We will see next time by the grace. I pray for you that the righteousness of God will permeate your heart. Sin will not have dominion over you. You will have dominion, and Christ will be made manifest in your life and in all that concerns you. God bless you. Father, we thank you.
This is Barclay Harvard Church. Thank you for joining us today.
In Jesus' name, Barclay Harvard partners today. Your gift of any amount will help us to keep sharing Christ and His compassionate love with people across the globe. Thank you for supporting us.
Please follow Barclay Harvard Church on Instagram and also listen to us live on Mixlr as we empower your spirit and your soul and your body. We are also on Twitter at Barclay Harvard. You can always find us and follow us on Facebook as we keep sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ. Connect and listen to Barclay Harvard podcast as we inspire people to follow God. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also press the notification bell for an update on our services and events. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're my rock, my hiding place. I am safe with